I want you to do a math equation with me. It is a simple equation, but it is one that 99% of lifters get wrong. And it is the reason your arms have looked the exact same for the last 3 years. Look at your upper arm, the bicep, the vanity muscle, the one you obsess over. The one you flex in the mirror makes up roughly 30% of the total mass of the upper arm. The triceps brachii makes up nearly 70%. To dash thirds dot now, look at your training log. I bet if we audited your week, you are spending 45 minutes on curls. You are doing barbell curls, preacher curls, spider curls. You are obsessed with that 30%. And what do you do for the 70%? Maybe 10 minutes at the end of the workout. A few lazy sets of rope pushdowns while checking your phone. You are fighting a mathematical impossibility. You cannot build a massive structure by ignoring the majority of the foundation. If you want 18, 19, 20-inch arms, the bicep is irrelevant if the tricep is flat. But here is the deeper tragedy. Even if you think you are training triceps, you are likely only training 1/3 of that muscle. The tricep is a 3-headed beast. Each head has a specific biological function, a specific origin point, and a specific trigger for growth. If you are just doing pushdowns, you are starving the long head, the slab of meat that actually creates the size. You are neglecting the medial head, the stabilizer that allows you to bench press heavy dot today. We are going to fix your arm training forever. We are going to dive into the physics of the pulley systems, the length-tension relationships of the sarcomeres, and the specific exercises required to unlock all 3 heads. This is not a top 5 tips video. This is a masterclass. Welcome to the lab. I'm Dr. Reese Thorne, and this is Strength Unleashed. To engineer a better arm, we must first understand the blueprint. Triceps brachii, Latin for 3-headed muscle of the arm. Most people treat the elbow like a simple hinge. They think, if I straighten my arm, I am working my triceps. That is kindergarten level thinking. That is why you have kindergarten level arms. Let's dissect the 3 heads, because their differences dictate our programming. 1. The lateral head. This is the money muscle. It sits on the lateral outside aspect of the humerus. When you see a bodybuilder with that sharp, carved out horseshoe detail, that is a developed lateral head. Fiber type, predominantly type 2 fast twitch. Implication, it responds best to heavy lows, explosive concentric movements, and high tension. It gets bored with high rep, lightweight fluff. It wants to push heavy iron. 2. The medial head, the forgotten son. It sits deep, underneath the long and lateral heads, just above the elbow. You can barely see it, but you can feel it. Function, it is the primary stabilizer of the elbow joint. It is the first head to activate in almost any extension movement. Fiber type, mixed, but has great endurance capacity. Implication, if your elbows hurt when you skull crush, or if your bench press stalls halfway up, your medial head is weak. It is the structural integrity of the arm. 3. The long head, the mass monster. This is the most critical part of this entire lecture. Listen closely. The long head sits on the inside, rear of the arm. It is the largest head by volume. The biomechanical secret. The lateral and medial heads originate on the humerus upper arm bone. They only cross one joint, the elbow. The long head originates on the infraglenoid tubercle of the scapula shoulder blade. It crosses to joints, the elbow and the shoulder. Why does this matter? It matters because of the length-tension relationship. A muscle produces maximum force when it is stretched to its optimal length. Because the long head attaches to the shoulder blade, its length is dictated by the position of your arm relative to your torso. Arm at side neutral. The long head is slack. It is loose. It cannot contract maximally. This is the position of a standard push-down. Arm overhead flexion. The long head is stretched. It is pulled taut against the scapula. If you are only doing exercises with your elbows pinned to your ribs, you are training the long head in a state of active insufficiency. It is mechanically disadvantaged. It is sleeping. You are leaving the biggest chunk of muscle potential completely untapped. To build the long head, we must go overhead. We must stretch it. So, the equation for massive arms is simple. Lateral head, heavy load plus neutral shoulder. Medial head, stability plus lockout focus. Long head, deep stretch plus overhead flexion. If your workout doesn't check all 3 boxes, it is incomplete. We start our training with the long head. Why? Because it requires the most mobility, the most stability, and the most energy. If you save overhead work for the end when your core is tired, you risk injury. Exercise 1. The overhead cable extension, the katana extension. I despise dumbbells for overhead work. Why? Gravity. When you hold a dumbbell overhead, at the very top of the rep lockout, gravity is pushing straight down through your bones. The tension on the tricep drops to 0 with the cable. The line of force is pulling backwards. At lockout, the cable is still trying to flex your elbow. The tension is constant. To set up the Dr. Thorne method, set a cable pulley to waist height. Attach a rope. Turn away from the machine. Assume a staggered fighter stance for stability. Bring the rope overhead. Crucial cue, do not let your elbows flare out like a chicken. Keep them tucked at about 45 degrees, pointing forward and up. Let the weight pull your hands deep behind your head. I want you to feel a tearing sensation in your armpit. That is the long head stretching. Drive the rope up and forward. At the top, pull the rope ends apart. The alternate, the dual dumbbell power extension. If you don't have cables, do not do the single dumbbell cupped hand extension. It puts too much valgus stress on the wrist. Grab the dumbbells. Sit on a bench with vertical back support. Press them overhead, neutral grip. Lower them behind your head, keeping elbows tucked. Drive up. The neutral grip saves your wrists and elbows. Exercise 2. The PJ or pullover, the hypertrophy hybrid. This is an old school secret that powerlifters have used for decades to build thickness. It is a hybrid between a lat pullover and a skull crusher. The mechanics: lie on a flat bench with a heavy dumbbell or EZ bar. Start with the weight directly over your chest lockout. As you lower the weight, do not just bend the elbows standard skull crusher. Instead, let your arms drift back behind your head, shoulder flexion, while you bend the elbows. You are dropping the weight behind the bench, almost touching the floor. This stretches the shoulder joint and the elbow joint simultaneously. It places the long head under the most extreme passive tension possible. The concentric, from the bottom, pull the elbows back to vertical, engaging the lats slightly, and then extend the arm, engaging the tricep. It is a fluid, two-part motion. Stretch back, drive up. Programming note: the long head is susceptible to damage under heavy, jerky loads. We want controlled eccentrics here. Sets for reps: 10 to 15 tempo, 3 seconds down, 1 second up. Now that the long head is thrashed, we move to the lateral head. This is where we build the 3D look. This head wants heavy loads. It wants explosiveness. Exercise 1. The cross-body cable press round. This is superior to the standard pushdown. Why? Anatomy. The tricep doesn't just extend the elbow. It works best when the arm is slightly behind the body extension. The setup: set a cable to shoulder height. No attachment. Just grab the rubber ball or the CA or ABI in your. Stand sideways to the machine. Grab the cable with your far hand. Bring it across your body. Now, push the cable down and across your body, finishing with your arm straight down by your side, slightly behind your hip. This aligns the cable perfectly with the fiber orientation of the lateral head. It allows for a peak contraction. That feels like a cramp. Exercise 2. The weighted dip. The upper body squat. If you want mass, you must move mass. The dip is non-negotiable, but most people do chest dips. We want tricep dips. The modification: vertical torso. Do not lean forward. Look straight ahead. Keep your legs straight down or slightly in front of you. Hollow body position, narrow width. If you have adjustable bars, go narrow, elbow tuck. As you lower yourself, force your elbows to brush your ribs. Do not let them flare. Lower yourself until your upper arm is parallel to the floor. Drive up aggressively to lockout. Once you can do 15 reps with body weight, put on a belt. Add a 45 pounds plate. Add 2. The lateral head is a type of fiber monster. It grows when you force it to move heavy loads. Exercise 3. The JM press. The powerlifter's secret, named after J.M. Blackney, a legendary bench presser. This movement builds the thickest triceps in the world. It is a hybrid between a closed grip bench press and a skull crusher. The execution: lie on a bench. Grab the bar with a close grip, shoulder width. Lower the bar not to your chest and not to your forehead. Lower it towards your neck, chin. As you lower, let your elbows drift forward and down towards your hips. At the bottom, your forearms should be smashing into your biceps. Press the bar back up in a straight line. This removes the chest from the lift and puts the entire load on the lateral and medial heads. It allows you to handle much more weight than a skull crusher, but isolates the tricep more than a bench press. Programming note: sets: 3 reps, 5 to 8 heavy. Rest: 3 minutes. Treat this like a strength movement. We cannot talk about triceps without talking about pain, tendonitis, the golfer's elbow, the burning pain right above the joint. This happens because the tricep tendon is incredibly thick and gets very little blood flow. If you just hammer it with heavy weights and never do maintenance, it will fail. This is where the medial head work comes in. It stabilizes the joint. The elbow proofing protocol, we need to pump blood into the area without heavy shear force. Exercise 1. The reverse grip cable push down. Take a straight bar attachment. Grab it palms up supinated. This grip forces your elbows to tuck tight to your body. It mechanically disadvantages the lateral head. You will feel this contraction deep inside the arm, right against the bone. Keep the weight light. We want 20 to 25 reps here. We are trying to flush the tendon with nutrient-rich blood. Exercise 2. Isometric lockout. Set up a bar in a power rack or use a Smith machine. Set the pins so the bar is about 4 inches away from full lockout. Load the bar with slightly more weight than your max bench press. Get under it. Press it up those 4 inches to lockout. Hold it. Squeeze the triceps as hard as you can for 5 to 10 seconds. Rack it. This high threshold isometric work strengthens the tendon and specifically targets the medial. Heads roll in terminal extension. You cannot just throw all these exercises into one workout. You will be in the gym for 3 hours. We need to be surgical. I recommend different tricep routines, rotated weekly or split between push day and arm day. Routine A. The mass and stretch long head focus, best done on a dedicated arm day. PJR pullover, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Warm up the shoulder, pre-stretch, overhead cable extension for sets of 10 to 12 reps. The main builder, close grip bench press, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Compound mass, finisher, overhead rope extension drop set double drop. Routine B, the power and detail lateral. Medial focus, best done after chest. Shoulders. Rope pushdowns. Warm up, 2 sets of 20 reps. Get blood in the elbows. JM press or weighted dips, 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps. Heavy loading, cross body cable press around, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. The horseshoe detail, reverse grip pushdowns, 2 sets of 25 reps. Joint health, flush, the frequency question. The tricep is a resilient muscle. It recovers faster than the hamstrings or lower back. For natural lifters, training triceps twice a week is the sweet spot. 1 heavy session. Routine B, 1 volume, stretch session. Routine A. Let's bring this home. The difference between a good physique and a great physique is intentionality. When you go to the gym, do not just move weight from point A to point B. When you are doing that overhead extension, I don't want you thinking about your day. I want you to visualize the long head stretching apart like a thick rubber band, tearing off the bone, and then snapping back together. Mind-muscle connection is not bro science. It is neural efficiency. It is the ability to recruit high-threshold motor units on command. If you can't feel the specific head working, you are just doing manual labor. You aren't building muscle. You now have the blueprint. You know the anatomy. Long, lateral, medial. You know the physics. Overhead for long, heavy, neutral for lateral, reverse, lockout for medial. You know the programming. The days of the lazy 3-set row push down are over. You are now a scientist in the weight room. If this masterclass changed your perspective on arm training, I want you to do 2 things. First, subscribe. We are going to dismantle every muscle group in the body with this level of detail. Chest, back, quads, nothing is safe. Second, go to the comments right now. I want to know, which head have you been neglecting? Is it the long head because you hate overhead work? Is it the medial head because you ignore lockouts? Confess in the comments and then go fix it. I'm Dr. Reese Thorne. This is Strength Unleashed. Go build the horseshoe.